Hello to everyone listening to the Platinum Mask YouTube channel. This is actually the first official episode coming out on YouTube. I'm really excited for this interview with Westonn, who's a local R&B and pop artist in the DFW area. And this conversation just kind of started off. Really, we had a recent podcast episode together and honestly just reached out to him about doing the first YouTube video with me. I was really excited to kind of dive into the logistics of some of his music videos and songs. And, he agreed to come on and definitely excited about it. So thank you again, Westonn, for, taking out the time of your day to explain what kind of goes into some of your music videos.
What's up, everybody? My name is Westonn. I'm a singer-songwriter out of Dallas. And I'm here to hang out with my buddy Grayson. Been getting to know him over our podcast, and really honored to be here and just talk about my music and just hang out.
So I guess for kind of a quick overview for anyone that doesn't know, what kind of led you? I guess were you really into R&B and pop in an early age, and kind of what led to I guess your first songs?
Yeah, I definitely, as a kid, I was always feeling stuff. I'm a very emotional person. And so when I was in high school, I never dated or anything. So I would always, there were guys and things that I was into, but it wasn't cool or acceptable to be out. So I kept all my feelings inside. And that meant that when I was listening to music, it was just this unrequited love that was being told through these love songs. I remember that there's a song called So Sick by Neo. It's an R&B song, and that was the first song that I sang that I realized that I could sing. At least I thought I could sing it well. But I've always been, a guy who loves love, and, I won't call myself a hopeless romantic. I think that term is very outdated and self-deprecating. I like love, and R&B is really close to my heart. So it's always been a genre that I can relate to, that I like to listen to and write to. So that's definitely where my music started, is in the R&B realm.
That's honestly bizarre when you kind of mention earlier into high school and stuff on not being too much into dating, because I see a lot of the songs. It's wow, this this seems really bizarre dating stories that you kind of dive into. But the idea that you're kind of going into a world that maybe you weren't into dating. It's I can understand that kind of comparison on that end. Well, I wanted to honestly ask on kind of the first song that I was kind of noticing on the YouTube channel. Primarily with Lose My Mind. Did you kind of want to, I guess, go into the story of what kind of led to that original song?
Yeah, when I wrote Lose My Mind, it was, I want to say it was the beginning of the pandemic last year, like March or April. I don't remember when it came out, but it was during the pandemic. But it wasn't related to the pandemic. I remember a publication had featured my song on their website, and they kind of went with this angle of how we're all losing our minds in the house, and how this was a good song to kind of vibe to, and so that was cool. But Lose My Mind came out of just my actual mental state when it comes to how I'm always anxious, and my depression, and I think that's what it comes down to. Just when you're dealing with your mental, it's a mind game, and sometimes you just spiral. So that's really what that song is about. and it was very therapeutic to be able to talk about that. And yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people get overwhelmed in their head for various reasons. So it felt like something that I wanted to say, and I wanted to share with people in case there's someone else out there, you know, going crazy. So
I'm never satisfied. Always after what I like. Sometimes you gotta let go.
yeah, that's the chorus, and I'm really, well, I used to focus a lot on the choruses of my song being catchy or being something, catchy or something that sticks in your mind when you hear it. And you know, I'm never satisfied references my my overachiever aspect to me. I'm very critical of myself. You know, I have high standards, and I'm always just trying to be better and better. So that's what that part is referencing. And you know, I'm never satisfied. Always after what I like. Always after the next best thing. Sometimes you gotta let go. You know, and you have to just let go of the idea of what you have. You know, who you are, where you're at, is not enough. And just be, you know? And the idea of losing my mind is referencing how it's more logical in life, right? To keep running this rat race, but it's insane for us to stop doing this day in, day out sort of mundane thing, and just going with the flow. So yeah, that's what that chorus really is saying.
You had like an album called 2 a.m. And then you've kind of mentioned like some other things. I was kind of like, do you, you know, have symbolism with like, I guess like, you know, night, or just like anything having to do with like 2 a.m.?
Yeah. For a while, I had a problem getting to sleep, and there are many different things I would contribute to it, whether it was like FOMO, my mind just not quieting down so that I could just go to sleep. You know, I deal with loneliness sometimes, and I feel like, unfortunately, the nighttime can amplify those feelings, especially when you're by yourself. And yeah, so I feel like I lived more in the nighttime, and specifically like late night, like after 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm up overthinking, it's kind of like just sulking in a bout of depression, or playing games with some guy who's wasting my time, but you know, he's there for the moment. So yeah, 2 a.m. represented on my EP, and you know, here I try to like leave a little breadcrumb there in this song about it. It just represents that time of the night for me that was very, I don't know, very very moody. So
I remember like on, you know, your music video with Missing You, I remember watching the YouTube behind the scenes for that music video. Was that music video, did that take place during the Texas winter storm?
Yes. We had, me and my my videographer and photographer, Dulce Jasmine Photos. You guys should look her up. She's amazing. She does all my photography, and shoots all my videos. But we had planned that video like 2 or 3 months before, you know, we shot it. And I actually had no really well done music videos out. I did one with a friend, you know, years ago, but it was very much like guerrilla shot, and you know, I just wanted to do something really fun and exciting and go somewhere, you know. So yeah, we had planned this. I was just like, I hit my photographer and was like, hey, you want to go out to the desert, like and just film a music video? Because I'm very independent, and I try to do as much as I can by myself. So I planned on going out there myself with my phone, a tripod, and just making it work. But I hit her up. We went to White Sands, New Mexico. Beautiful, beautiful place. The sand dunes that you see in the video, they look even more incredible in person. But the week that we're planning, the storm hits, everyone's power is out. My water stopped working the day before I was supposed to leave, so I didn't shower the day before, which meant that I had to sit in the car for 9 hours. You know, not stinky, but just not having showered for a little bit, so it was uncomfortable. But yeah, it was during the storm, and it was actually the day that we left is the first day that the storm, like, it stopped storming and the snow started to melt like a little bit. Like, it was still super dangerous outside, but I was thankful because I'm just like, I know when we come back, like, it's gonna be over. So yeah, interesting time when we went to go film that.
All the time, days playing tonight. Missing ya. It's not right. I know you feel inside. Missing us.
Was there any, like, I guess, pros or cons of doing a music video in such, like, an isolated setting like that desert area?
This spot, the what's it called? White Sands Park in New Mexico. It's actually like a national park. So, like, we weren't totally remote in that sense. Like, let's say, like, I broke my leg, like, I could go find, like, a park ranger, you know? So that was kind of comforting. But me and my photographer, we're, like, down for anything. So if it wasn't like a state park and it was some, you know, really isolated place, I don't know, that may have even made it even more fun because it's just, you know, I feel like it would have added to the excitement of it all. But outside of that park, we were surrounded by, like, mountains in New Mexico. And when we drove into New Mexico, there's a lot of, like, actual, like, winding roads through canyons and mountains. And I love driving, you know, it's very relaxing for me. And so it was really beautiful, the whole experience. So I had no qualms about it, only that, like, we went out for, like, a weekend. I think we drove out there Saturday and came back Sunday, or we drove out Friday and came back Sunday. But it was quick, but it was definitely an experience, and I can't wait to do something like that again.
Mm-hmm. No, that's it's a really bizarre story on, like, I mean, especially during the entire winter storm. That's at least some type of creative project out of the situation.
Like a plane that's taking off. I'm the one that gets you high. But like a fiend, you know it ain't enough. It's just enough to get you by.
So, honestly, when it came to this song, I write from past experiences, or I write from like desires. So this song wasn't actually about anyone in particular. I think it started off that way, but then I realized I don't miss any of my exes or anything like that. There's no one, like, you know, that I'm missing or care about like that. So I just imagine for me what it would feel like to miss, you know, someone special. And it's just like a plane that's taking off. I'm the one that gets you high. Like, I'm the one, you know, for you, and you're the one for me. But whenever you have to leave, it's just like, you know, when I'm with you, it's like a drug. But when you leave, it's not enough. And it's just like a fiend. It's just enough to, like, get me by. Which kind of sounds codependent, but yeah, you know, it's just that feeling that when you love being around someone, just their energy, just who they are, and then when they leave, like, they leave an impression on you so much that you think about them often. You miss them, so.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I know you focus, you stay in your lane. You don't have to complicate talking
I saw on the YouTube channel your performance, Heels on the Move to Hill Performance. I guess before like I mentioned the songs, did you want to explain was there like a nonprofit partnership involved with that?
Yeah, so I normally I partner with an organization called Melody of Hope, and they have sponsors across North Texas that they hold charity events. You know, they have performances from local artists, me being one of them, and they asked me to perform for this charity called Heels on the Move to Heal. And basically what they are centered around is the support, rehabilitation, you know, of battered women, victims of domestic abuse, you know, women with children who are now single mothers because of life circumstances, and, you know, they help them get back on their feet. And so they had a charity shoe fashion show, and it was virtual, which was really interesting, but also very of the times right now. And so, they asked me to perform a couple songs, and the first song that I performed, Priceless, is definitely an R&B song, but the message behind it for me was very inspirational, and I feel like it was beautiful, and I feel like it fit the occasion. You know, anyone going through any sort of hard circumstance, traumatic, you know, experience. I think that when you go through really tough things, it does have an impact on your self-esteem because of how hard it is for you to get through it. So, I was very honored to perform and record my set for that fashion show. And they raise money every year, you know, for donations and things like that. So it was a very interesting and amazing experience. So I'm very proud of it, and I'm very honored to have been asked to perform.
I guess like when I saw, both the songs, really with Priceless and Falling Asleep, I kind of noticed like the major differences between more of an R&B and more of a pop influence on the songs. Have like people, I guess, been like leaning more one way as far as like I guess crowd reception on, you know, what they've enjoyed more, or do they all appreciate like the mixing of both worlds?
Well, the first thing I'll say is, as an artist, until you get to, you know, a really big level of notoriety, you really need to find like your niche. And I say that because I've learned that, and I've always known it, but as an artist, I don't like to be told what to do with my art and my expression. So when I started out, I was doing R&B, and like whenever people hear me sing, you know, they get R&B influences, and they, you know, they assume that I sing R&B, or they recommend that I do if I'm singing a different sort of style or genre. And because that's definitely just how my voice is built. It's more like pop, not pop, but like mildly soulful, but definitely like R&B. And so I could easily do R&B. Like it's not something out of my comfort zone or out of my range. But I know that isn't the lane that I want to create for myself. And as far as the reception from people, when I do put out like just like snippets or something of an R&B song, people really like it, and I love that. But I'm more than that, and I also don't want to pigeonhole myself in that lane. And with pop, like people like pop, but it's definitely not as individualized as R&B. You know, people. What I respect so much about R&B is that while it's, you know, an encompassing genre or an encompassing style of music, when you hear someone who is singing from their, you know, from their gut, from their stomach, from their soul, from their pain, Like, that's undeniable, and it's so unique. Whereas pop, pop is, it has a bad rap as being this packaged, cookie cut, sort of genre. And parts of it is, a lot of it is. And so because of that, I feel like it's harder for people to become their own individual in the pop realm. And so with my music, I think people lean more towards the R&B side. But what I have learned about myself is that that's never going away from me, the style of music that I'm writing now and creating now, you can still hear the R&B influences. You can still get that feel, and that's part of me. And so people are still going to connect with that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's a mix of both, but it's more of a play on that idea of, people can't afford you, but more leaning more towards like your actual, value as a person. So yeah, when I started writing that song, I wanted to make that type of song where, I'm saying how you are so special that, people can't afford you because they can't value who you are as a person. And with this song, a lot of my music that is rather inspirational or has a message to it, I'm writing that first and foremost for myself. So when I say can't nobody afford you, even though they try hard to, like, for me, I struggle with self-esteem for a lot of my life, and I felt, for a long time that I was too much or I wasn't enough. And the bottom line of everybody, and what I, of course realized for myself, is that anyone who has an issue with who you are, they can't comprehend it. They can't value it. Like someone who sees like a diamond and doesn't understand what a diamond is, right? And they think it's worthless, but we all know diamonds are hella expensive because we know their value. So the song is definitely inspirational, and when people watch the performance, because I haven't recorded that song, I think that they'll feel what I'm trying to say, and that's what I stand by, and I feel like it's something that I needed to hear for myself, but also just to remind everyone else, you're priceless. So.
Definitely. Well, no, honestly, again, Westonn, I wanted to thank you for, helping me out with the first official YouTube video with the Platinum Mask. I honestly thought it was really cool to deep dive into a lot of like the songs that you've kind of completed. And, I honestly thought it was very interesting to see like the different styles you've been able to work with R&B and pop, and kind of in different like subgenres and ranges for both. No, I think you've definitely proven with some of these videos that we have that you've been able to kind of master a bunch of different talents within both worlds with your music. So thanks again, man, for coming on.
Absolutely. I'm always honored to be a part of whatever you're doing, man. So thank you for having me.